What if I told you that we came this close to losing the largest off-roading area in the entire country? And what if I told you that it might happen again? Okay, welcome back to the show, everyone. My name is Matt McAdam, your host of Chasing Dust right here on Driving Line. And today I'm sporting the all-new Nitto Carhartt shirt that I got. These are so comfortable. I actually have them in a few different colors. I gotta wear them more often. And I got my Nitto melon hat, so I'm all decked out in Nitto gear today. But anyway, today we got a very special episode. This is something that's very near and dear to my heart, as I'm sure it might be to many of you guys watching at home. And the crazy part is, it's taking place right now. This is not something that's in the past or in the future, but right at this moment. And I can't believe that we're going through this again, but there is a new fight to save the hammers. And this fight, like so many that we deal with as off-roaders, is about access, but it's also about safety. And it's about whether our community keeps the freedom to enjoy our public lands or whether it quietly disappears once again under military expansion. Now, I want to make one thing very, very clear before I keep going here. I have nothing but respect for the Marines. All of our armed forces, in fact, all the men and women who serve this beautiful country that I love so much. But I also know what Johnson Valley means to us. Like I said, it's the largest OHV area in the United States. It's home to my favorite off-road race, the King of the Hammers. And for a lot of us, it's a second home. It's a place where we built memories, friendships, and even entire traditions that span generations of off-roaders. In fact, my first trip to the Hammers was on Thanksgiving weekend, and it was actually pouring rain the night that I arrived. But the next day, we wheeled up all the way to the top of a ridge overlooking Means Dry Lake, and I'll never forget the feeling of wonder and freedom that I got just sitting in the bed of my Toyota on top of that hill. That place was so expansive, you could just go anywhere. It was really, really special. And I couldn't believe how close it was to my home. Just knowing that I could drive 2 hours to completely unplug and explore such a huge place with my best friends in all of our trucks, it was a huge blessing. So when I hear the military is once again trying to expand into this land and threaten our access to it, I knew that I needed to devote an entire show to raising awareness to it. Because this isn't the first time. And let's be honest, it probably won't be the last time either. That's why in this episode, I want to give you guys the history of what's happened here. Then I'll bring you up to speed on the new fight that's happening right now in the September of 2025. And finally, I'll share with you guys how each of us can step up to make sure Johnson Valley and the Hammers remain open to everyone. Because trust me guys, this fight is far from over. Johnson Valley wasn't always the off-road paradise that we know and love today. In fact, for decades, this exact stretch of the desert has carried layers of history that most people driving by never even realized happened. Long before it became the largest OHV area in the United States, parts of this land were actually used for military training. In fact, Means Dry Lake, where Hammertown is built up and torn down each year, was once called Precision Bombing Range Y. And that's where they'd actually drop ordnances from planes flying overhead. And actually, if you've ever driven off the beaten path through the lake bed, you've likely crashed into one of the hundreds of craters left behind from those early days. Over time, the Bureau of Land Management designated Johnson Valley as public land, which gave off-roaders, rock crawlers, and desert racers a place to go stretch out, test themselves against wide open terrain and all the different kinds of rock trails and desert trails out there. And a little while later, the local four-wheel drive clubs founded the first trails in the area known as Jackhammer and Sledgehammer, which gave the Hammers its name. And word quickly got out about this incredible area. Tens of thousands of acres where you could camp, explore, challenge yourself on trails that would later become legendary portions of racecourse. And as the off-road community grew, Johnson Valley became more than just a weekend riding spot. It became the stage for one of the biggest motorsports events in the whole world, King of the Hammers. That race completely transformed a remote desert into a city of over 80,000 people for 1 week every year. People from all over the world flocked to this corner of our local desert to witness, compete in, or work in this fast-growing new motorsport known as Ultra 4 racing. But with all that attention came some conflict. Back in the late 2000s, the Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center at 29 Palms, which is just a few miles east, began pushing hard to expand its training range. The plan was to annex more than 160,000 acres of Johnson Valley, including much of the area that us off-roaders have been using for decades. Now, for the military, the reasoning was pretty clear. They needed more room to run large-scale training exercises, and Johnson Valley's proximity next door made it the most attractive option. But for the off-road community, landowners, and local businesses, the threat of losing access to this land was enormous. If the Marines succeeded, the largest OHV area in the country would effectively be cut in half, and the cultural and economic heartbeat of Johnson Valley would be gone forever. And that sparked a pretty massive grassroots fight.
Get your voice heard.
We got to do it now.
We can't sit around and wait for somebody else to do the job.
The Hammers need your help.
Various land use and off-road advocacy groups organized thousands of enthusiasts to speak up. Families, small businesses, entire communities rallied together. We wrote letters, attended hearings, and made it really clear that losing Johnson Valley was not an option. And the fight actually dragged on for a couple of years, with both sides refusing to back down. And finally, in 2013, a compromise was actually reached. Congress passed legislation that expanded the Marine base, but preserved a huge portion of Johnson Valley for shared use. Now, it wasn't perfect. The Marines gained land for their exercises, but the public was promised guaranteed access to Johnson Valley during the times that it wasn't being used for training. That agreement was pretty historic. It set the stage for King of the Hammers to continue, and it proved that when the off-road community comes together, we can really make our voices heard. But it also left us with a warning. That deal showed us that the military's interest in this land isn't going anywhere. And so that brings us directly to the fight that's happening right now.
What's going on, friends? The off-road community in Johnson Valley needs your help. We are under attack with King of the Hammers again.
So it's late 2025, and now the Marines are back. This time, the fight isn't about taking more ground, however. It's about taking the air over Johnson Valley. On the surface, their proposal sounds pretty technical. The Marine Corps wants to expand what's called special use airspace into the air directly over Johnson Valley, creating surface-to-sky control across the desert. They're claiming that they only need it for about 60 days out of the year, but then clarified saying that they want Congress to approve more days after the first year. And to be honest, this plan already stinks. But effectively, if the Pentagon were to succeed, Johnson Valley skies would no longer be public airspace. And that means no more drones or helicopters capturing the action at King of the Hammers. It means no more flying media, no more chase helicopters for the rich boy teams, or flying anyone in and out of Hammertown. And for all you racers who rely on high-performance helicopters to recover your broken-down race car from a 400-foot ravine, looks like next time you'll have to figure out a way to drive it out yourself. But perhaps most concerning of all, it means that medevac flights could be delayed or even denied during emergencies. And anyone who has spent time in Johnson Valley knows how serious that is. This is brutal terrain, you guys. Accidents do happen. And when they do, sometimes the only thing standing between life and death is a medevac helicopter. If those flights were to get grounded, it won't just inconvenience racers or fans watching at home. I guarantee you it will cost lives. And the threat doesn't just stop with off-roading. Powerline crews, firefighting aircraft, and other essential services all depend on open access to the air above Johnson Valley. Cutting all that off just creates risks that go far beyond recreation. And here's the part that should make you sit up straight. When the Pentagon says that they just want the air and they don't plan to take over the land, I'm sorry, I just don't believe them. If this goes through, it's a slippery slope, and it's much easier for them to take the land underneath it later on. And once that happens, we don't get it back, like ever. But luckily, we have some really, really great people in the off-road community who saw this coming, and they rallied the troops. One organization in particular, Blue Ribbon Coalition, has been leading the fight to save public lands all across this country, including the Hammers. In fact, their vice president, Shannon Welch, who spent many years working in and around Ultra 4 and King of the Hammers, and who also happens to be a personal friend of mine, has been keeping the rest of us up to speed on the fight every step of the way. According to Shannon, with just 20 days to respond, they were able to gather more than 7,000 public comments to submit before the September 15th deadline. And each one of those comments now has to be addressed by the Marines before they can move forward. But this fight also gained attention far beyond the off-road community. Major outlets like the LA Times are even reporting on this story. Prominent off-road figures are using their platforms to rally enthusiasts, urging them to take action. My social media feed is just buzzing with posts, videos, and different calls to protect the Hammers. So just to recap what's at stake here. Without access to the air, the emergency response systems that keep people alive in Johnson Valley are put at serious risk. We're talking about life or death situations in very remote, unforgiving desert. Then there's King of the Hammers itself. The race depends on helicopters and drones to film the event for spectators both on the lakebed and those who are watching the live stream at home. In fact, KOH Livestream has always set this race apart from others like the Baja 1000 and the Mid 400. Even from the early days, Hammer King Media has been the absolute best at covering this race from the air, and the KOH operations team uses air support to track racers, respond to emergencies on the race course and around the lakebed. So without them, the entire event would just evaporate. And consider for a moment the economic impact that this would have. I already mentioned this number earlier. KOH brings in roughly $34 million annually into the surrounding neighborhoods and communities of Johnson Valley. Hotels, restaurants, gas stations, local businesses all depend on that influx every single year. If the skies over Johnson Valley are closed, then the event can't go on. That money and the livelihoods that are tied to it could vanish entirely overnight. This airspace proposal also threatens the hard-won balance that we established back in 2013. That compromise split the land between the Marines and public use. It allowed for shared access while providing the military with the space that they need for training. The new plan, however, undermines that balance. It effectively gives the military the entire control over what happens in the sky, which in turn restricts what actually happens on the ground. It's a very subtle but very powerful way to take more than what was agreed to. And this is why groups like Blue Ribbon Coalition have put forward clear demands to protect the public's rights. They're asking for things like shared use corridor from the desert floor up to about 1,500 feet, exemptions from emergency response, protections for King of the Hammers, and strict congressional oversight. Now, these are reasonable measures designed to preserve access, safety, and the economic vitality of the area. And like I said, ignoring them would set a dangerous precedent for public lands all over the country. It doesn't matter where it is. Today it's Johnson Valley. Tomorrow it could be your local OHV area. But I want to be clear. This airspace fight isn't theoretical. It's happening right now, and the clock is ticking. They're still reviewing the comments from the public, and the more opposition we can throw at them, the harder it will be for them to fight back. Every comment, every email, every voice matters in this fight. Because once the skies are closed, the land itself is next. That's why the stakes are so high here. And like myself, so many of my friends and colleagues depend on Johnson Valley for their livelihoods and their family traditions. This is simply a fight that we just can't afford to lose. So here's the bottom line. If you care about Johnson Valley, if you care about King of the Hammers, if you care about public lands being open for everyone, this is the moment to act. The Marines have put in their proposal, and now they have our comments to answer. But the fight isn't over yet. For now, we're just keeping a close watch to find out what the next steps are. But in the meantime, I encourage each and every one of you to follow Blue Ribbon Coalition for updates on how to help fight to save Johnson Valley. Because they may need to gather more comments, more public perspective, and more letters. And that is your moment to act. Every single comment adds pressure that increases the chances that the military doesn't get their way. This is how we protect safety, access, and our culture as adventure enthusiasts. This is how we make sure King of the Hammers can continue for decades to come. And this is how we defend one of the most iconic OHV areas in the entire country. So if and when that opportunity comes, do not wait. Don't assume someone else will take care of it. We have fought this before and we've won. We can do it again. Johnson Valley is worth it. KOH is worth it. And the people who love this place, you, me, all of us, our way of life and our traditions are worth it. So click the link in the description below and follow along with Blue Ribbon Coalition's fight and follow their socials as well, because that's where all the updates are going to be. So that's why I'm using my platform here to say, show up for Johnson Valley, show up for the Hammers, show up for the future of public lands. Because if we don't, we may not get another chance at it. But that's going to do it for us today on this episode, you guys. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank everyone who follows and supports Driving Line and this show in particular. The off-road community is absolutely incredible, and when we band together, I know we can do some pretty great things. I'm just happy to play a small part in it. Once again, my name is Matt McAdam, your host of Chasing Dust, only on Driving Line, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This is Matt from Chasing Dust. Be sure to hit that subscribe button because Driving Line is creating all kinds of awesome content for gearheads just like you. I'll see you guys out there.